If you think fear is just a flaw in others, you're blind, and you've already lost the game. In the ruthless arena of power, fear isn't a barrier, it's a weapon, a chain that binds your rivals and lifts you to the top. Niccolò Machiavelli, the master of strategy, revealed a brutal truth. Those who wield others' fear don't beg for respect, they command destiny. Picture this: the co-worker who hesitates in your presence, the competitor who backs off at your shadow, the enemy who yields without a fight. They're your pawns if you play it right. The question is, will you ignore the power of fear, or will you learn to harness it to dominate? Ladies and gentlemen, today we're unveiling 5 Machiavelli tactics that show how to turn others' fear into your greatest advantage. Life is a battlefield where every glance is a judgment and every weakness is exploited. Ignoring others' fear is squandering a lethal weapon. Machiavelli taught us, men are driven by 2 levers, fear and self-interest. Fear is a primal force. It paralyzes, obeys, controls. Using it to your advantage isn't cruelty, it's strategy. Without this tactic, you're just another pawn manipulated by others' fears. With it, you're the puppet master, shaping everyone's behavior around you. Today, we'll explore 5 Machiavelli tactics that make others fear your springboard to power. These aren't just ideas. They're a roadmap to ruling without resistance. Tactic 1. The intimidating presence. The first tactic is to cultivate an intimidating presence. Machiavelli wrote, "A prince must be feared before he is loved." The secret lies in projecting an aura that makes others hesitate to challenge you. In history, Cesare Borgia mastered this. He entered rooms with piercing eyes and precise gestures, making enemies retreat without a word. Or think of Alexander, the Great, whose reputation made armies surrender before battle. Today, an intimidating presence is a vital tool. In a world of meetings and social media, those who project strength command respect. The co-worker who fears your reaction, the rival who avoids confronting you, they give you ground. Think of Steve Jobs, whose intensity on stage silenced critics. Or Oprah Winfrey, whose commanding energy makes others defer in her presence. Practice, sharpen your presence. At work, walk into meetings with firm posture. Direct eye contact, clear voice, no hesitation. On social media, post with authority, even if it stirs debate. In your personal life, maintain a confident demeanor that disarms provocations. Machiavelli warns, fear must be measured, or it turns to hatred. Ask yourself, where can I project more strength? How does this make others back off? This is your first tactic, CTA 1. 3 minutes. If you're ready to use fear to your advantage, hit that subscribe button now and join us to master Machiavelli's strategies. Tactic 2. The strategic silence. The second tactic is to use strategic silence. Machiavelli said, "Those who speak less are more feared, for their words carry the weight of gold." The secret is to let others fill the void with their own fears. In history, Cleopatra dominated. In negotiations she paused, leaving Romans anxious, projecting power effortlessly. Or think of Catherine the Great, whose silence made courtiers tremble, guessing her intentions. In today's world, silence is a rare weapon. In a sea of posts and debates, those who hold back unnerve. The co-worker awaiting your response, the rival trying to decode your silence, they yield to the fear of the unknown. Think of Beyoncé, who rarely answers critics, leaving them rattled, or Jay-Z, who ignores provocations, amplifying his mystique. How do you do it? At work, counter criticism with a short sentence and go quiet. On social media, skip the haters. Let your next post speak. In your personal life, pause before reacting to provocations. Silence must be deliberate, not cowardice. Machiavelli cautions, a poorly timed silence looks weak. Ask yourself, where can I use silence to intimidate? How does this give me control? This is your second tactic. Tactic 3, the calculated reputation. The third tactic is to build a calculated reputation. Machiavelli wrote, "Men judge more by their eyes than their hands." The secret is to craft an image that inspires fear, even without direct action. In history, Joan of Arc used this brilliantly. Her fame as a holy warrior made enemies hesitate before fighting. Or think of Sun Tzu, who said, "The reputation of power is power itself." Today, reputation is everything. On social media or in offices, those who seem untouchable win. The rumor of your resolve, the story of your determination, these make others retreat. Think of Elon Musk, whose relentless reputation intimidates competitors, or Rihanna, who builds an image of strength, keeping rivals at bay without confrontation. In practice, shape your image. At work, let others talk up your skills, seed stories of your achievements. On social media, post content that projects authority, etc. Video, a bold quote. In your personal life, drop subtle hints of your strength. Machiavelli warns, your reputation must be believable or it's empty arrogance. Ask yourself, what image can I craft to inspire fear? How does this lift me without a fight? This is your third tactic. CTA 2.7 minutes. If these tactics are sparking something in you, subscribe to the channel for more strategies to take charge. Tactic 4, the veiled threat. The fourth tactic is to use the veiled threat. Machiavelli said, "Fear is stronger when the blade is unseen." The secret is to hint at consequences without stating them, letting fear do the rest. In history, Cleopatra was an expert. She implied Rome's might against rivals without direct threats, and they complied. Or think of Franklin Roosevelt, who used subtle hints to align allies. Today, the veiled threat is an art. In a world of egos and tensions, a hint of strength paralyzes. The co-worker who fears your influence, the competitor who imagines your retaliation, they fold. Think of Jeff Bezos, whose quiet moves unnerve rivals, or Kanye West, whose presence hints at power without open conflict. In practice, imply without spelling it out. At work, say something like, "I hope this doesn't complicate things," calmly. On social media, post an ambiguous line that spooks rivals. In your personal life, use a firm tone that suggests consequences. Machiavelli cautions, the threat must be subtle or it becomes provocation. Ask yourself, where can I hint at power? Without speaking, how does this make others obey? This is your fourth tactic. Tactic 5, the control of uncertainty. The fifth tactic is to control uncertainty. Machiavelli wrote, "The unknown is the greatest source of fear." The secret is to keep others in the dark about your intentions, letting fear fill the gap. In history, Alexander the Great perfected this. He hid his plans, leaving enemies paranoid and won without fighting. Or think of Machiavelli himself, who advised princes to be unpredictable. Today, uncertainty is power. Those who seem unpredictable intimidate. The co-worker who can't predict your next move, the rival who fears your reaction, they falter. Think of Taylor Swift, who keeps her projects secret, leaving the industry on edge. Or Kevin Hart, who uses an enigmatic persona to keep allies in line. In practice, be unpredictable. At work, don't reveal your plans. Let others guess. On social media, mix up your content to confuse rivals. In your personal life, shift your reactions to unsettle provocations. Machiavelli warns, uncertainty must be controlled or it becomes chaos. Ask yourself, where can I be less predictable? How does this amplify my power? This is your fifth tactic, the cost of using fear. Before we show you how to use these tactics, let's talk about the cost, because power never comes free. Using others' fear lifts you up, but exposes you. Some will call you cruel. Others, intimidated, will pull away. The world loves nice guys, and those who manipulate fear face hatred. Machiavelli knew this. Exiled, accused of immorality, he wrote The Prince in the Shadows. Even icons like Taylor Swift face backlash for their cold strategies. Machiavelli wrote, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." Fear breeds envy, betrayal, isolation. You'll be labeled manipulative, heartless, even inhumane. That's the price of sovereignty. The loved are used, the feared are free. How do you handle it? Choose allies who respect your strength, not those expecting kindness. Trust your purpose because manipulating fear takes courage. And stay discreet. Silence shields you. Ask yourself, what risks am I willing to take? How can I protect myself from the hate? How to use fear, the path to power. How do you turn others' fear into victory? Here's a practical plan for the 5 tactics for the intimidating presence. Project. Strength today. At work, walk in with a leader's posture. On social media, post with authority. In your personal life, use confidence to disarm. For the strategic silence, go quiet with purpose. At work, respond briefly to criticism. On social media, ignore provocations. In your personal life, pause before reacting. For the calculated reputation, shape your image. At work, let others hype your strength. On social media, create bold content. In your personal life, seed stories of power. For the veiled threat, hint at consequences. At work, use vague phrases. On social media, post with subtext. In your personal life, suggest strength calmly. For the control of uncertainty, be unpredictable. At work, hide your plans. On social media, vary your tone. In your personal life, surprise with your reactions. Machiavelli gave us the final advice. A prince must be feared and loved, but if he cannot be both, let him be feared. In the 21st century, this means using fear to win. Stop chasing approval. Stop being predictable. Stop being the pawn who obeys. Become the master, the strategist who uses fear to build an empire. Yes, it's lonely. The feared walk alone, trusted by few, understood by fewer. But that loneliness is your strength. It's what makes you untouchable, unshakable, unbeatable. CTA 3, Taisha 12 minutes. If you want to master the game of power, subscribe now and never miss a strategy lesson. The long game, fear as a way of life. Let's take a step back. Using others' fear isn't a tactic, it's a lifestyle. The world will try to force you into kindness, paint you as harmless, trap you in fragile approvals. Your mission is to resist, calculate, evolve. Think of the greats, Franklin Roosevelt, who used fear to align nations, Frida Kahlo, who intimidated with her authenticity without showdowns, or Sun Tzu, the supreme art is to win without fighting. Fear is your art, to endure, grow, reign. This lifestyle demands discipline. Train yourself to see fear as a tool, not a taboo. Keep a journal. Track who fears you, how you can use it, and when. Study your environment. Who yields to your power? Who resists? Embrace the ruthlessness. Manipulating fear is like handling fire. With practice, it becomes your essence, your edge, your throne. To sustain it, build an inner fortress. Dedicate time to know yourself. Meditate, write, reflect on your goals. Surround yourself with allies who get the game, not naive idealists expecting altruism. And reinvent yourself. When they think they've figured you out, shift. Beyoncé does this with every era, LeBron James with every season. Ask yourself, how can I be more feared this month? What fear can I wield? Hatred sharpens you, strategy immortalizes you, keeping the power, the master's strategy. Let's go further. Using others' fear isn't just about gaining power, it's about holding it. Machiavelli teaches that a prince must be vigilant, as mismanaged fear sparks rebellion. How do you avoid this? First, balance fear with respect. If you're a leader, intimidate but deliver results. If you're a creator, unsettle but provide value. Second, anticipate resistance. Study your rivals. Who defies your power? Disarm them with an unexpected gesture or a veiled threat. Third, control the narrative. Fear stirs rumors. Use social media, speeches, actions to seem strong, not tyrannical. In history, Cleopatra held power by blending fear and charm, keeping allies in line. Today, think of Elon Musk, criticized for his coldness but respected for his vision. Or Oprah Winfrey, who uses her commanding image to inspire fear and loyalty. You can do the same. Post about your strength, not your manipulation. Show power, not cruelty. In practice, craft a long-term plan. This week, identify who fears you. Study their moves. What unnerves them? Plan an action to reinforce your power, a presence, a silence, Write your narrative. What image do you want to project? Post, speak, act to cement it. Fear is your stage. Use it to shine. Reflect one last time. Who benefits from your harmlessness? What systems, work, friendships, society, trap you in the illusion of being good? And what would happen if you broke free, became the master no one dares defy? Picture it. You, sovereign, commanding fear, shaping destiny. That's the power Machiavelli saw, the power you can claim, the mirror of truth. We've reached the end, but the truth lingers like a shadow. In the game of power, being harmless is surrender. Using others' fear is sovereignty. Machiavelli's 5 tactics, presence, silence, reputation, threat, uncertainty, are your weapons, but they come at a cost. You'll be judged, feared, isolated. But in that fear lies your power. The world will try to make you a nice guy, shrink you, disarm you, but you're not a pawn. You're the puppet master, the one who shapes fate. As you face the mirror tonight, ask yourself, am I ready to break the chains of kindness, to embrace the fear that sets me free? Power isn't given, it's taken by those bold enough to play, to intimidate, to become untouchable. Until next time, remember this. In the labyrinth of life, the feared don't just survive, they reign. And when silence falls, only you will know the truth of who you've become.